Live in Truth community. Welcome to another episode of the Live in Truth podcast. As always, or once again, or hello. I am your producer, Sean. I am joined by your host,
Nifiah, and we are so glad to be back. It's been a minute.
It's been a long minute.
It has. We decided that we needed to take some time off, and that's really what we're going to talk about today. It's important for us to take time off and do some things that allow us to relax, release, and rejuvenate.
Yeah, no, you were just coming off your 24th year anniversary for your marriage. So you took a wonderful vacation to Mexico.
I did.
And then I needed a vacation from your vacation, which is what the extra week away was for. We had some other family come into town. It was great to see them, my sister and my nephew.
Yeah.
So that was super fun. That's what we were doing last week. Taking some time to connect with people that we don't get to see all the time or often enough. But now we're back and we're going to talk about how to reacclimate, into your regular life, along with the importance of taking time off when you need it.
That sounds really good. The important thing is, with all the stuff we do, and we're super busy in managing so many things, trying to live healthy, love well, reach goals, and everything else, it's just really important that you take time for yourself. Every minute being productive is really not productive. That saying, booked and busy, that never really set well with me. It's good to be booked so that you're making money. It's good to be busy, but to be in that constant state where you're not looking at yourself or those around you and taking care of yourself and those around you, I think it leads to quick burnout.
Definitely. And I think a lot of that also comes from sort of faux production. You're more so busy for the sake of being busy to feel like you're doing something or always have something going on. But all the work you're doing or all the time you're spending is not always translating exactly into, things that are effective in changing your life or getting you from point A to Z. You're more so just moving all the time or going 100 because that's what you feel like you should be doing or you have to be doing to reach whatever goals you may have.
And even when you are doing those things, to be transparent, I would say for the last 23 years, if not more, but I can speak to Sean I always reference Sean because he's my timeline of when my life started to change. But for the last 23 years, and we were even talking about that today at breakfast, I feel as if I have been in a perpetual state of busyness, in a perpetual state of motion. And I have achieved a ton of goals, both personally and professionally. And I think even the one we just recently celebrated, our 24th wedding anniversary, I think that was a great accomplishment. But in all of that, it was really, really hard work. And so it's important to celebrate all of the hard work and all of the busyness and productiveness that you have going on. Is super important to celebrate that. And so our last podcast, we talked about is more than just food and fitness. And I know that sounds strange coming from me because literally that is what I do. That is how I make my living. But I do take that time to sit down, even when I'm not going on a vacation out of the country. I take time to read books. I don't watch a lot of TV, but there are times where I just take the time to be still I'm a big person who loves nature. So taking walks and going on hikes, things like that. It's so important to just take some time. Take some time for you to relax and also to celebrate all of your accomplishments and all that you're doing. The commotion that you hear, we have the lovely Lauren Shepherd in the house as well. You don't see her on camera, but a lot of this we could not do without her help. So we're grateful to have her here today.
Yes, and while we're shouting people out, Dolly Dog is also in the house.
Dolly Dog.
She is my dogder. And
I never heard you say that.
and she's asleep in the corner. She's never been allowed in the show
Never
before.
been allowed in the show.
But here she is today. And
sometimes she misbehaves, but today she's behaving.
She's very behaved and clearly not entertained. But yeah, and even to get back to what you were saying, you say it's not just food, nutrition, and exercise.
Right.
That's not the whole picture. But I would just like to point out that even when you're taking time to go on vacation and sort of rejuvenate, that does not mean that you are wavering or stepping out of line of your nutrition or your physical goals. You do still stay within that mindset and continue to live and move in that way that's going to benefit you long term. Just because you're on vacation in Mexico, that does not mean, unfortunately for you, that you were just eating all of the different types of,
I wouldn't say unfortunately, because it is a lifestyle for me. So I wouldn't say unfortunately. I was still able to eat very good and intentionally eat the things that keep me healthy. So I wasn't ill on vacation. Just because I was on vacation, I didn't make decisions that would make me sick or decrease my level of energy. I still ate the same way I would eat at home. And actually, there were some times where I had, I experienced a little bit more variety because I was in a different country.
Sure.
So things were prepared different. So although it was all vegan or all plant-based, it was prepared different, which allowed me to bring some of those things, those recipes and ideas home to help enhance the meals that I have here, and maybe some that we share with you all on the website. And when I do travel, no matter if I'm traveling for work or for leisure, of course, I'm looking for a place that has a nice gym. And thankfully, the resort that we were at did have a very nice gym. We stayed at a resort in Riviera Maya, Cancun, and then for about 5 days, we left there and then went to the city. And even the place that I stayed there had a gym at the bottom of it. I don't know if I showed you the pictures of the
No,
gym,
I don't think you showed me the pictures
Yes.
of the second place.
Yeah, so it had a pool and gym. So I do stay on point. I normally work out 5 to 6 days a week. To be honest, I probably only worked out 4 of the 7 days that I was gone.
What a fall off.
But as you were saying, just because I'm on vacation or quote unquote taking a break, I don't take a break from living my truth, from my wellness and increasing my level of longevity. I was just taking a break from the everyday stresses. And that's important, to sit those stresses down sometimes. As you all know, this is a new business and platform for us. And we together, Sean, Lauren, and I, and we have a couple of other people who assist us every now and then. It's been a learning process. And anybody who's listening to this podcast who's ever started a business, you know how stressful it is to start a new business and get everything running. So not only was I celebrating my 24th wedding anniversary, and I'm so proud of that, so you'll keep hearing me say that, I was releasing some of the stress of, getting this business going. Also, getting new ideas, because now I didn't have the distractions, the everyday distractions that are around me. It was quiet. It was relaxing. So I was able to, get new and fresh ideas and bring that back to the team here.
I think you were sick of my phone calls every day.
I was not sick of your phone calls. You make my day every single day.
So I want to get into, it's wonderful that you got that time away, and it's important that everybody, have those intentional pauses from the go and the stresses of life, so that they can take a step back and really see where they are and where they want to be going, and if they're following the path that they mean to be. And I think that breaks are a critical time for being able to be aware of all of those things. However, I want to get into how you have and how important it is to reacclimate into your everyday schedule in a positive and strong way, so you don't hit the ground back stumbling, but once it's time to go again, once the vacation's over, you're able to hit the ground running again. So how have you reacclimated to regular life following your vacation?
I'm not 100% acclimated, to be honest. However, prior to us leaving, we did talk about what we were going to do when we returned. We talked about what the plan was upon return, how we would flow through that once we returned and during each meeting. Of course, I brought back some ideas. I was refreshed. And so when I got here, I got my planner out and we're writing down things. In our first meeting, I'm probably pouring on way too much information, like, this is what we need to do, this is how we should do it. So I have my planner, I have my computer. And so each and every day I'm making sure I'm actually scheduling time and doing planning that I'm going to do 1 hour of work for the business, other than our recording days. This is just a work day. 1 hour learning something new for the business, 1 hour learning some new nutrition, 1 hour researching, and I planned that out. I planned my week out. So really nothing had changed. I just kind of hit pause for a week and then got back into it.
Something I noticed, because I was over here right before you headed out, was that you had completely empty, and not like thrown away, but, just sort of strategically emptied your pantry, your fridge, your freezer. It was almost like when you go into a new house and there's, nothing, in the cupboards or anything like that. As far as your nutrition and exercise go, how does it look for you restocking your fridge and your pantry, and how do you know what to shop for, what to grab, what you need right away? How do you get back into that?
So I think that's what the question he was asking in the first place. And I'm totally talking about business. So you see how I come back. I'm ready for the business because I am refreshed. But regarding that, I did totally eat up everything that was in my refrigerator before I left. And I was strategic about not buying new things. So using anything that was in the freezer or the pantry to make meals, so that when I came back, I could start over fresh. So right now, I think we've been back now for a whole week, maybe.
Around there, yeah. Coming up on.
And so my husband and I, each day we've just been, every couple of days, I should say, meal planning and just buying those things. We haven't gone fully grocery shopping, and we will do that, and we will show how we grocery shop to refill the pantry and to refill the refrigerator. So and that will take us some time. Of course, my refrigerator is generally filled with fruits and veggies and water, ginger and lemon and things of that nature. So we'll film that and then we'll post that as a podcast or some form of it so that you all can see how we do that, how we restock. And then what was your second question?
No, you're spot on with what you just answered. I actually want to go into, you brought up your produce like fruits and vegetables. I know that you grow a lot of your own stuff, and when you want something, you're able just to go out into your garden and pick it, right out of the ground, wash it off, and it's ready for you. I know that at least we're in Michigan, so it's getting colder. I'm pretty sure it's harvesting time right now, but we're exiting the period of time where you can cultivate your own fruits and vegetables in the backyard at least. So how will you go about, gathering or what type of places do you look to or that you trust to get those fruits and vegetables that you can no longer grow, oversee, and take care of yourself?
I shop at Fresh Time. It's a smaller market that sells lots of organic fruits and vegetables. I like Whole Foods because you also have a better choice of that organic produce. So over the winter, I'll do that. I will also grow some things in the winter time. I do grow during the winter time, herbs, some small greens, mushrooms. And so I'll do that. But the things that I can't grow for the winter time, I will get from those markets. I try not to buy, and I'm glad you asked that question. I do try not to buy unless I absolutely have to, and I'm going to eat it immediately. Fruits and vegetables from like Meijer, specifically Meijer. I just the other day bought blackberries and raspberries from Meijer's that looked good when I picked them up, and the very next day, even though I had examined them, mold start to grow on them.
I've had that experience too.
So I choose better markets, and I know that everybody doesn't shop at Whole Foods, and that Fresh Time is not a store that you find on every corner. Mm-hmm. So when you do go grocery shopping, and we will probably implement some of that, I'll probably go into a Kroger and a Meijer as well, just to show people who those stores are near, what they should look for. And so you do want to look for organic produce, which might in dollars be a little more costly, but in benefit is so worth the cost.
Sure. Yeah. And you could even look at that as potentially saving yourself some dollars down the line when it comes to your health.
Yes.
Medical expenses tend to be much costlier than the fruit at a Meijer. I have just been dreading it because I've been taking advantage of the local farmers markets around where I live. And it's really something that I just got into this summer, this year, and it's been so fun, not just for the aspect of getting locally grown goods, but also the social aspect of it, being around the people of my community. Mm-hmm. It really feels like people are, taking care of each other. People who live just a couple of blocks away from me on their farm are, bringing what they've grown to the central marketplace and feeding, the community, and there's bands playing. And it's just been a really great time. So I am sad that in a couple of weeks that will be ending.
Yeah, that The farmers markets are very, very cool. And each Thursday near me, we have a pretty cool farmers market every Thursday, just not too far from me in Saline, Michigan. Sean and I together with Lauren, we visited one of the farmers markets in Lansing, yes. And that was pretty cool. Keep in mind, I'm not sure Eastern Market also have their farmers still bring in whatever they have harvested in their late harvest.
And that's always a blast, mm-hmm. especially around, football time, with the Lions, who are not so fun to watch. Usually the best part of a Lions Sunday is being out an Easter market, mm-hmm. Before the game starts. Mm-hmm. And then usually by the end of the game, all the joy that you had going into it is worn off.
Right. I am, so Eastern Market, this is not a paid advertisement. We just love Eastern Market. Yeah. Eastern Market is open on Saturdays from 7 to 4 year round. And so you can still go to Eastern Market and get some of these things. You're not going to get all the same fruit and vegetables you get because it's just not the season. But what I am excited about, although I am sad about the farmers market, I'm excited about the apple orchards.
Yeah.
So we live out in the country. Both Sean and I, he doesn't live here, but we live like in rural areas. So apple orchards are readily available to us. And we find some pretty cool things there, not just apples and apple ciders. You find fresh jams and fresh chilies and corns and different type of cornbread, where people have taken what they have harvested and made other products so that those things don't go to waste. So make sure you're visiting your local apple orchard, which is usually family owned and run. So you are supporting a small business.
And just such a blast to be out a lot of times, at least at the ones around here, depending on where we are in the season. So we're in October now. There will be a lot of festivities surrounding the upcoming holiday. Once we get to November, same things. It's just a really fun place to be at, a really full place when it comes to experiences and goodies and people. And you can't beat apple cider and apple pie and jam, in the middle of the fall. So definitely if you're close to one, or not too far away, check out your orchards this season.
Sean mentioned the upcoming holidays, and I don't consider Halloween a holiday. We used to love Halloween, and for years we didn't celebrate Halloween, if you will. We wouldn't wear costumes. We wouldn't go trick-or-treating. But I love to see the children come out in their costumes and see all of their joy and pass out treats to the kids. So we used to pass out candy, and slowly but surely I realized that what I was giving, I was changing that to popcorn or pretzels or fruit snacks from candy. And right now, if you don't know, I am a Christian, and in most churches, Baptist churches, we do trunk or treat. For the kids to keep them safe and not in the neighborhoods. And we have this campaign, bring all of this candy, bring the candy, decorate your trunks and all of and it just bristles me so bad.
Right.
Because I'm like, why are we campaigning to feed these children all of this sugar and dye and these things that are harmful for them? And even the adults are like, bring the good candy. Don't bring...
That's me. I'm the adult.
Don't bring the bad candy. And I just want to scream, don't bring any candy.
The kids are skipping this house this Halloween. Turn the lights.
And I recognize, like, over the years, I went from the sugary treats to the more, and I wouldn't necessarily say they're perfectly healthy, but like I said, I went to pretzels or popcorn, and not sweet popcorn, just plain old popcorn, to give to the children, and 100% fruit snacks. But still, in some of that, now that I've learned that even in some of the things that we think are pretty healthy, they're still just laden with things that are horrible. And I know people are saying, what are you talking about? Then what are we going to eat? We just have to make better choices. The kids don't have to skip this house, but they are probably getting like celery and carrot sticks or something.
Celery with peanut butter in them, apple slices.
And that's another thing. Even the peanut butter, you couldn't even give a child like Jif peanut butter cups and an apple or something for a healthy treat, because even that, I shouldn't say names, even that peanut butter is full of sugar, and they don't really make real peanut butter in.
Boo, this is breaking my heart.
They don't really make peanut, in travel packs, real peanut butter. That's just peanuts crushed.
Well, I think it's clear for all of us listening and myself here to see why you don't consider Halloween a holiday. You're just thinking of all the negative aspects of it.
Well, this is the thing now. I mean, when you know better, that is my absolute favorite quote. When you know better, you do better. Do the best you can until you know better. And when you know better, do better. We know better. We know that these dyes, this sugar, this salt, this oil, it is so harmful for us, and even more harmful to our children whose minds and bodies are developing. I'm not going to keep going on about that, but I hope y'all heard me. I hope you heard me.
I agree, and I second that 1,000%. I'm not speaking for the brand. I'm speaking for myself. On October 31st, my favorite quote is "Ignorance is bliss," and I would love a peanut butter cup.
But you're not. We can make peanut butter cups that are not full of sugar, that are not full of dyes and extra stuff you don't need.
I think I'm going to take you up on that. I think that this is a great opportunity, just like we did for the Labor Day holiday that just passed, to show people that you can have sweet treats, things that feel, really good, things that are sweet, that aren't necessarily gonna kill you, or at least aren't as bad for you as some things that you might pick up off the shelves at the market, or the grocery store. You can take the time, and it just takes a little bit of time, especially when it comes to desserts. Most of the time it's under an hour of preparation, and then maybe there's a cooling period, but there are plenty of goodies that you can make right at home that resemble all of the different types of candy you like, your sticky candies, your hard candies. If you like, breads or donuts, things like that, you can make these things at home with way less sugar, way less of the chemicals that you can't even pronounce.
Correct.
And
no dairy,
right. And get a really delicious, fulfilling, product. And I have certainly experienced that in this house plenty of times.
Right. And that, back to what we were originally talking about, this lifestyle is a balance. It's food, whole food, plant-based nutrition is the foundation. Fitness for healthy living, you taking your rest and your time for yourself, for mental and physical well-being, and doing things that are beneficial to your health. The Bible talks about everything is permissible, but is everything beneficial and constructive? And so that is always my prayer. Let me do things that are permissible, but also beneficial and constructive. So in this lifestyle arena where we talk about whole food, plant-based nutrition, we talk about daily fitness, we're talking about taking your time off and doing things for you that are important to you. Like I said, even if it's just laying on the couch listening to music, you want to do those things. Go get your nails and your toes done. Men, you as well. Get manicures and pedicures. It's just not for a woman. Get your massages, things like that. And then be intentional about your environment and the things that are around you. So we just talked a whole lot about Halloween, but even taking Halloween out of that, intentional about the food you're putting in your mouth, intentional about the food you're buying, intentional about the people you're around and the surroundings that you're in. And all of that is important. So that's what we were talking about today. Yeah, we work very hard, but taking time off to either get those things in order or recognize those things or renew and rejuvenate so that you come back better or you prepare yourself to be better, stronger, faster, smarter.
A lot of what I'm getting out of you're saying, and I feel like the overarching message is, you don't have to be killing yourself to positively, you don't have to be killing yourself to have a good time or to put yourself in a good position. So that means, what I mean by that is you don't have to be, or you shouldn't be trying to kill yourself in the sake of production to get to where you want to be in a professional sense. And when it comes to what you're putting in your body, you don't have to be putting in things that are killing you to enjoy what you're eating or to enjoy the whatever event you have. You can serve yourself positively and get very positive benefits from doing good things nutritionally, in your movement, in your actions. It does not always have to be, or it shouldn't be, to your detriment.
Correct. And that is one of the points that I'm making. But the greater point, as Living Truth is lifestyle medicine, is that, and maybe we should have talked about this more, is that a high level of stress, improper eating, that booked in busyness all of the time, a poor environment, all leads to chronic disease. Mm-hmm. Or it exacerbates whatever current illness is that you're dealing with. So taking time off, eating well, having a good environment, all of that decreases your stress levels, which decreases your risk for heart disease, decreases your risk for diabetes, decreases your risk for stroke, decreases your risk for depression. So you want to make sure that you are balancing all of these things out so that you are living a whole life, and you live that whole life through good nutrition, through a positive environment, through rest and relaxation, and having good people around you, and doing things that are important to you. I think we fail at that a lot. Sure. We don't do things that are important to us because we are so busy trying to show people, how important we are, that we don't really do the things that are important and that are beneficial to us. And that in turn impacts our health.
Yeah, no, I think that that's a great period to end on, and just sort of, as always, there's something on my face, but just as always, eat good, rest good, love good,
Live good.
Live good, trick or treat good, you know. Do it all good, and then serve yourself. And just to reiterate, you know, do what's important to you, what makes you feel good and fulfilled. And I think if you focus on that and saying those parameters, you'll see some pretty great things happening for you.
I agree. I think serving yourself first, and then you're a better servant to others. And again, I'm going to drive this point in: a good life with all of the components that we talk about: food, good food, whole food, plant-based nutrition, whole food, plant-based nutrition for the people in the back, fitness, family, fun. It just leads to a better life, a happier life, longevity, and all of those good things that we encourage here at Live in Truth.
Word. Alrighty, Live in Truth community. We're so happy to be back with you. We missed you. Sorry we were away for so long. Sorry, not sorry. I was on vacation.
Right.
But we are back now, and we're ready to get back running with you guys. So we'll see you next week, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. See you all next week.
Bye.
Sean loves his bye. Bye, y'all.
Thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Live in Truth podcast. Stay connected with all things Live in Truth by checking out our webpage, livintruth.org. Follow us at living.truth on Instagram and at Live in Truth on all other platforms. Stay tuned for next week's episode. Schedule your consultation with Nifiah today and start living an intentional life of vitality through nutrition.